y'all. So today I wanted to go over Black women's mental health. My first episode was about Black men's mental health. So this episode is going to be about Black women's mental health, and then we're going to go on to focus on women's issues after this. So the first thing I specifically want to talk about is being the strong Black woman, right? And that used to be carried with pride until it hurt us to our detriment. Black women tend to have this, I have to do it all. This is all my responsibility. When you sit down, you feel like you're not doing enough, as if you don't give yourself permission to just relax, right? And don't get me wrong, depending on what generation of Black women we're talking about, some didn't have an option. Some had to just go, right? But I don't want Black women to become accustomed to it, because Black women deserve a break as well. And I am so proud of this generation of saying, I am not the strong Black woman. Baby, I need a break. Baby, I need a vacation. No, I don't got it. Can somebody else get it for you? Because we deserve it. And this made me think, right, like back in the 1960s and 50s, where the women prepared the meal for the man, because when he went outside of the home, he wasn't treated as a man. So when he walked in his house, his woman wanted him to treat him, as a man. So women took pride in that, as they should. But my question, when I watch these type of movie scenes and hear about the dynamics, who took care of the Black woman? If she's making sure the house is good back in the day, she's cooking, making sure he's good, when is her break? When do she ever get a break? Because I hear stories like, back in the day, my mom cooked 3 meals out the day. She didn't sit at the table. She made sure everybody was good. And I'm thinking, like, is that healthy? That's like when people say, I put my kids before me. I think you should put yourself before your child. In the sense of making sure your health needs, your mental needs, your needs are met, so you can raise your child the best way you can, being the best version of you. I'm not saying if the kid want to go out, you say, no, I don't want to go out, I'm finna go out myself. That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. I mean simply for your mental health. Like, make sure you good, make sure you got yourself together. If the baby want to go out to the park for an hour, but you need that hour to debrief so you can be a good parent for the rest of the day, take that hour. That's all I'm saying. Just the whole idea of putting yourself aside for one person, I think everybody in the family, whether it's the mama, the father, or the child, should all be able to have those breaks. And they all should have those safe spaces to speak as well on how they're feeling. But bringing it back to Black women, I think that we should look at vulnerability more so as power, less than being weak. And I say that because when you're vulnerable and you really take the time to dive in and learn who you are, that takes a lot. Because a lot of people are angry with themselves, angry with what's happening that's around them, so they're not able to give their best self. Or they might not like what they see, so they try to avoid it and project. But when you take the time to really love on yourself, find what you love, what you don't like, things you want to experience, when you get to truly learn yourself and being in that vulnerable moment, to me that shows growth. To me that shows, okay, I want more for myself, so I'm gonna put myself in uncomfortable but safe positions so I can better grow. Whoever came up with the term that vulnerability was something that was weak really didn't know the definition or what it takes to be vulnerable. Let me be clear. Now, something every Black woman I feel like should have is a sister circle. Shout out to Foxhole. But I honestly think a sister circle helps with accountability, with support, and just knowing that you're just not going through life alone, right? Because a lot of times you go through stuff and you think you're the only one, when whole time your friend or somebody else going through the same exact thing. So I think it's helpful to share those things and experience some things and try to grow, through that sisterhood and work through those things together. Now, I don't want to confuse this with trauma dump, right? We got some friends I like to call and just dump, ain't ask if you in the space to receive it. How's your day going? You know what I'm saying? You probably had a traumatic incident, now they calling you trying to dump. That's not what I mean. And to save yourself from that, just ask. Girl, look, I got a rough day today. It's a lot going on. Are you in a space to receive it? How is your day going? As you already going through too much, well, I can't share this. I think that saves that person from being denied. And then, like, when you're in that space of vulnerability and you're trying to talk to somebody and you see that they don't really want to talk to you, it can turn into rage. And that's what we don't want, right? We want a productive process. So I would simply just ask, hey, girl, I need to talk. It's going to get deep. Can you listen to it right now? If you can't, maybe they'd be like, girl, not today, but tomorrow. Just have that line of communication open so everybody is getting what they need. And really diving in and thinking about this, I think Black women need to lose the title of the strong friend, because nobody asks a strong friend if they cool. Are you all right? How was your day going? They kind of just expect it, especially if you carry yourself, which a lot of Black women do. They carry themselves very well. They don't look like the things that they're going through or been through. So it kind of get dismissed by thinking, oh, she good, she got it, she can handle things, she's strong. No, you need to check on them people. Because that's one thing a Black woman gonna do, okay? They can be going through whatever, but they're not gonna look like it, which is why I feel like it get bypassed. So I think we need to, as Black women, check on each other more. Really see what's going on. You ain't gotta be nosy all in their business, but just check, how your week been, Because some people do call just to be nosy, but let's keep going. Now, the next thing I want to go over is depression, right? And the different signs of depression. Because I think it looks, well, I know it looks different for Black women than it do other ethnicities. For Black women, when it comes to depression, she tends to isolate herself. It comes out as irritation. So you're thinking, oh, she got a bad attitude. No, she's probably overstimulated. But you can just ask, When you find yourself just crying and crying and crying and crying, that tends to be a symptom. Self-criticism, when you're doing your best, being overly critical about yourself. Sleep disturbances, not being able to sleep all the way through the night, can also be a sign of depression. Self-blaming things when situations that you did not create, that can be a sign of depression. And I think a lot of times when people hear depressed, you think, your hair is all over the place, you stand in bed, which those are symptoms as well. But like I said, when it comes to some Black women, majority of Black women, you make it look good. So you really have to have a conversation and ask, like, how you been? Because you can smile, you can do all the theatrics, right? But not knowing that the day before, something crazy happened to her. So it can look different. That's all I'm saying. And instead of labeling the Black woman as she being angry, she got an attitude, how about you just ask her needs? Because I know the most stressful thing you can do is when you're already trying not to be labeled as the angry Black woman, which personally me, I don't care. Baby, I'm pissed. I don't care about the name. But a lot of people, which I understand as well, don't want to be labeled as an angry Black woman. So then you're suppressing those feelings that you need to be letting out. And one thing, when you repress something too long, what it's going to do? Explode. Because where else are you going to get it out? Unless, you try your sister circle, you try therapy and all other things, which I'm going to get into next. Other than that, if it doesn't go anywhere, that's what's going to happen. And I don't think Black women should have to suffer in silence to make other people feel comfortable. And so with that, I think Black women, we should be okay with being sad. Like, today I'm just sad. I'm just not having a good day. It's a day. It doesn't have to be the week. It doesn't have to be the month or the year. Give yourself permission. Like, today I'm not feeling it. And go through those emotions and work through those emotions. That's okay. When you find yourself having weak moments, allow yourself to go through it. Sometimes we feel like we always have to be born and have to be right, have to be perfect, have to be this. Allow yourself to do that. And the last thing with this is, if you're feeling a certain way, allow yourself to feel that. Don't diminish it. Don't belittle it. Don't make it smaller than something it is. If that's how you feeling, that's how you feel. And I know this might sound crazy, but I honestly think we need to start feeling more comfortable about not being okay. That's all right. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just having a moment. You're human. It's normal, So, Black women, give yourself permission to relax. Give yourself permission to breathe. Give yourself permission if you're just not feeling single thing. That's why you have people in your life that care for you. They do things for you, they help you out, you do the same for them. It's just mutual and it's genuine. Now I want to speak on the topic of love and relationships, right? So I feel as though black women, and I'm not gonna say just black women, I think women across the board, as a young girl are taught how to be a wife for a man, not necessarily how to be a wife for yourself. You taught to make sure you cater to him, not the ways that you should be catered, or you're taught that make sure his needs are taken care of, but not necessarily what needs should be met for you in a relationship. And I definitely believe it's a societal thing that has a lot to do with gender roles, which I don't disagree with gender roles. I think in some sense we should have them, but we're not necessarily taught the love that we should have, more so the taught that you should give for the next person. Now I'm just going off general statements. Me personally, I feel like I was taught both, but I think the way society, I'm just speaking on the society we are in, for women, you're just taught how to be there for him. And I think even before you get into a relationship, you should start a relationship with yourself. I know you like, girl, bye, but listen, when you start a relationship with yourself, that sets the tone for how he should treat you, right? So if you know you love certain flowers and you go out and get yourself flowers because that makes you feel good, that's what you want to do. Simple things like that. I don't necessarily think you should have to be in a relationship or be dating someone to feel love, right? And if it's not a person that you're dating or in a relationship with, not doing those things at the moment, either you're just not in one or you're just not looking for one, I definitely feel like you should be doing those things for yourself. Like, don't wait to have a date to get dressed and go out. Get dressed, go out, have a good dinner. Take yourself out. Go to a steakhouse. Eat good, drink good. Like, love on yourself until you find your man. Because, baby, I think black women need black men, and I think black men need black women. This is not that segment, okay? But I do think it's important that we establish that love for ourselves, because what you don't want to do is get in a relationship thinking that he's supposed to give you the love that you should have gave yourself. I think anything a man does should be additional to what your foundation is as a woman. Now, me personally, I have a self-care jar. So every week I'm pulling out the jar and I'm doing something new, right? And I will have a self-care ebook coming out, so be looking out for that. But I think that is so important because you can really have a good time learning about yourself. Like, you ain't trying to do that all the time. Let's be realistic. I get that. But you should be doing it a lot of the time so it becomes normal. To me, self-love helps you move on situations faster. Hear me out. So, like, if you're going through stuff or stuff is taken, whether it's a person or a thing, you can bring that self-love to you to build yourself back up quicker than you waiting on that thing to help you repair that love. I hope that makes sense. Or if you're dating somebody you know they're not for you, you love yourself more than you love something toxic or something that don't serve you, you're going to move on. You're going to be sad, but you're not going to be that sad because you know what you deserve and you're going to stand on your decision. So I think you just move away from toxic things or things that don't serve you a lot quicker when you have that type of self-love. Now, I picked out a few things that I feel like would help with self-love. So here we go. Thinking positive, right? Because life gonna life. Something always gonna happen. So when you see things and you feel like things is gonna go bad, try to change it mentally, right? So instead of saying, this gonna go left, I already know when I get this gonna go left, I'm finna go there and I'm gonna have fun. And if I don't, I know not to come back again. It's just a mind thing. And more so just speaking power into what you want to happen while still working on it. I think therapy is a big thing. I'm personally not in therapy. I do want to go. I do hear that therapy, finding your person is a process, right? So it's like you might not find the therapist on the first try, but you might find them on the second try. So I'm definitely going to give therapy a try. I urge everybody to give therapy a try. I know my mom was in therapy when I was younger, and my uncle, and there's other people that I know that therapy did work for them, but there are some people who feel like therapy is not for everyone. So I'm going to give out some examples. Y'all pick and choose which one y'all want to try, because I want it to be for you. This is a big one. Learning how to say no. No, I don't want to go today. No, I don't want to help you out. No, I don't want to give you this. No, 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 no. I think that's a good word to learn. And I understand it can be hard because of the perception of, oh, she did. But if you know you're a real, genuine person, then that person shouldn't trip. That person shouldn't have a problem, with you setting boundaries. Boundaries set up the stage. It's set up exactly what will and would not happen over here when it comes to friends, family, and whoever you're talking to. I think setting boundaries really honor who you are, right? It's like, yeah, I love you as a friend, as a family member, as a relationship person. I know I said family member, but yeah, I get it. But I'm not willing to cross this boundary because I love myself more, and I'm not willing to go backwards, for you. And you have every right to feel that way. I feel like daily affirmations is the thing, right? You wake up, you speak life into yourself. That's really all it is, because the world out there is crazy. They don't like nobody. Okay, it's a cold world out there. So that's why you wake up every morning and you speak life into yourself. Like, to me, that's such a powerful act to be able to do that and walk in that. Creating a vision board, being able, because things are not going to go exactly how you want, but at least you have some idea of where you're trying to go and get to. I think that is so important. Also, it shows, like, when you have a vision board and a to-do list, you're moving. You're not stagnant as a woman. You're progressing. And I feel like in any stage, for a woman should always be progressing. Let's talk about it. Because a lot of times I see women get into marriages and relationships and they forget about themselves. What we doing? And I do hear women say, well, it's for my kids. I don't think your kids want you to be unhappy and stagnant by any means. So I think you should always be progressing, because you're not just a mom, you're a woman. And I think every woman should have a hobby or something that they love. I don't care how cute they try to make it look. I don't think a woman just serving their family and their husband all that sounds miserable. She needs to have something for herself, something that she loves, something that she looks forward to other than the people that she's catering to every day. So women, always progress. Progress. The word of the day is progress. I'm going to have that written down in the front. And if you with somebody who don't want you to progress, check the door. Now, a self-care journal, I think, is so underrated, but I understand it, right? Because I've tried it, irritated. So I took a pen and I just started writing. I was writing in cursive, and you just let it out, and you just feel like it just goes down and down, like the tension. It's just a way to self-regulate, right? I thoroughly think you should try it. Deep breathing, which I think controls your body and your mental. I think deep breathing is really good. When you've seen something that's just seemed too overwhelming, take a deep breath, reel it in, and try to start over again. I think deep breathing definitely helps. Going to the gym, number one recommend. Because when you look good, you feel good. And after a workout, I feel amazing. Like, literally, it's a mental reboot. Like, you just feel good. You feel like you can just jog around. It's just a really good release feeling. And nothing feels better than your health, okay? Also, checking your health, I think, is number one, right? You thinking you depressed, you sad, your iron just low. Like, really, check your health, check your body, and make sure everything on point. Because I think your health and the things that you intake plays a lot. As Kobe joined the conversation, I think it plays a lot. So I think that's something that everybody should check. And I seen a segment on Good Morning America. She was saying you should check your mental health like you check your mammogram. Make it that important. Spas are always a go-to. Give yourself a whole mental and body breakdown, okay? Just relax, take it in. I highly recommend massages. And if you ain't trying to spend that much money, Groupon. That's your friend. Now, this point I think is so important, and that's being present, right? Because it's already just so much going on around you. You got to do this, you got to do this, and you be having a lot on your mind. But being present helps a lot because you're not in your head so much, and nobody wants to be in their head like that, you know. So I think being present is just a game changer. Another one is spending time with nature, going outside, put your feet in some grass, get around some trees, really get into nature. I think that is a mood changer as well, game changer as well. Just going out and being present in nature. I think you should try it, girl. You should try it. Now, I don't do this, but it helps some people that I know. Naps. Baby, they turn into a whole nother person after they take a nap. Naps, I think, is good for the mental, good for the brain. You doing a lot, you want to go, quick nap. I think that helps. And the last thing I want to say is, Black women, you are so important. You are so important. You influence so many people. You are the trendsetters. There is nobody like you. They can imitate, but they can never be the original. Let me be very clear. So, I love y'all. Y'all dope. Y'all inspire me. We inspire each other. I want to see nothing but greatness. We already doing our thing when it comes to business and building. Like, keep going. Just run, take off, sprint, and do not stop. Keep your foot on these people necks. Do you hear me? And although I spoke on Black men's mental health for my first episode, the rest of my podcast will be her channel, A Girl Podcast. So we're going to have time to get into a whole lot of topics, okay? Now, I'm going to be very transparent, right? I am switching over my channel. It was going to be about Black community topics, but I think I'm going to change it to a Black women topics or a women's channel, because I do feel like men need to speak to men and women need to speak to women. But I also feel like women can also play a part in Black men's mental health, which is why I wanted to have an interview with the author. But moving forward, I will be focusing on women issues. Baby, we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about. And the last thing I want to say is, yes, Black women, we need Black men, and Black men, we need Black women. I'm never going to not say that. Peace.